Hey, welcome back, everyone. We are here after our little show match, Asta beating me 7-5. I will be very interested to go and look back at the stream, to hear your thoughts and to see what chat thinks about that. I think it was a really fun idea that gentleman had to have us do that little live show match
I
with
agree.
with the live commentary. That was a lot of fun to do. But now we do have our proper finals of the Summer Cup 2025. Nebula versus jScarny. And real quick, let's move on through this draft. Do you want to read it out for us, Assatine?
Yes, sir. All right. So we have Nebula versus Scarny here. Two very good players. So going over the draft, to no one's shock, Nebula bans Balcony. And then Scarny actually bans Aquarium, which I think is a pretty smart ban against Nebula because uh, Aquarium just was one of those venues where Nebula could just fly free with his occlusion and is so good at like shooting you for like different things on it that it's just a really good ban. I think you don't want to play against him. I'm interested though because Jay Scarney banned or double was Pub. And Pub is like kind of a nothing venue, but I think that it's a 3 of 7, so I think honestly some flips could happen. And even though pathing is involved on Pub, I think there's a lot of like plays that you could still do and somehow get it past. So it's definitely not like a foregone conclusion. And then yeah,
Yeah,
Nebula
I
doubles Ballroom.
I like
Go
the I
ahead.
like the aquarium bin in the pub because aquarium is one of the venues in particular that has a lot of like really weird pathing quirks that are specific to aquarium itself, and Nebula knows all of those. So just taking that out of contention, pub does have a bit of a higher there are some quirks about pathing on pub, but I don't know that it's really a nothing venue. But it's definitely got a little bit more of volatility than some of your bigger like 5 of 8 venues. So you can definitely go in through it. I like this draft so far from Jace Carney.
Yeah. Um, but anyway, we also have a double of Ballroom from Nebula, which I really like because uh Ballroom is just such a balanced 4 of 8 venue, and you could just do. There's a lot of winning chances you can get on the spy side. And then your sniper can also have like an equally like good amount of chances to hold things down. So I think Ballroom makes a lot of sense from Nebula. We
Speaking my
have a
language.
Veranda ban from Nebula, not wanting to play Veranda. Sorry, Rav. We have a Tayan ban from Scarny. I know that Scarny hates Tayan, and it is another occlusion venue that Nebula would like to play. So another smart ban. So far, the draft is going really good for Scarny, in my opinion. I think that these are all maps that he really likes, and he's getting all the maps that he doesn't like out of the way. And I think it's a really good draft from so far. And then he singles Library, which is very comfortable on. We have a Nebula singling Redwoods and Gallery, and then Scarny singles Courtyard with the ban of Modern Hyris at the end for our Infinite Terrace Decider.
Infinite Terrace. Oh, well, I'll be honest with you. I hope we don't get there. Terrace might be my least favorite venue. But yeah, no, I agree that overall, I would say insofar as what is possible within the draft space, I think this went pretty well for jScarny. You have a decent amount of venues in there that have like some level of ability to make upsets happen while avoiding some of the things that Nebula would just be crushing at, like Aquarium in particular, as we mentioned. So yeah, overall pretty good draft, but it's still going to be a lot to overcome because as we've been talking about, Nebula's just a really strong player, a really strong sniper.
Yes. Yeah, and I think that I really like Scarny's draft. I think that if you wanted to draft, I think obviously it'd be an understatement to say that Scarny is the underdog here. I think that no one's going to argue that, and I think this draft is actually a really good chance if he wanted to have some good winning chances. I think this is the draft to do it because, like you said, I like that there's no Modern, no Aqua, so no getting punished for like pathing, which I'm sure Nebula is like way more knowledgeable in. But Pub is a pretty volatile venue, like you said earlier, and I think that a lot of the match is going to be decided on how the Pub set goes, and then from there on out, it's just going to be however, like whatever happens on like the other venues. But Pub is going to be pretty deciding, I feel like, for the early game tempo, and then all these other venues though, very easy to hold down on the sniper side if you're having a great day and feeling solid. And but also a lot of spy play to be had. I mean, Gallery, Redwoods, Ballroom, even Library, you have a lot of options. So I'm very excited to see this. This is going to be such a good match.
Yeah, I am as well. And with that, we can start to get into it. I think we have jScarny starting as the spy on, of course, our very first double venue of Pub. This is jScarny's venue, as we just went over, playing as Plane Twin to start us off. Anything to note about this, where we've spawned, way on the outer edge?
Well, I can't imagine we're gonna go for a bug or like an early delegate cheese, so probably just gonna be a flirt, but we'll see.
All right, let's see what actually happens in three, two, one, playing it. What actually happens is AI control. Did you have that one on your bingo card, Assatine?
I didn't take Scarny to be someone for an AI control, but I'm not gonna lie, I actually loved like I thought about doing this in my matches myself because you start out the game with AI control and you tell the sniper this is going to be a possibility every single spy game, so you cannot low light at all, even though you want to. And Nebula is a sniper that will even take some low lights, but we let go of it. But I like the idea. It's a good idea, but I thought we were gonna go like the whole game by AI control, but starting it out's also fine, so you don't get like shot for some early path.
Yeah, and the thing is about AI control against pathing
Banana
sniper
bread.
like snipers that are really good at pathing like this, right? Is that it's a pretty big risk because AI control doesn't necessarily mean that you are going to be doing like by definition you're going to be doing perfect pathing, but a lot of the time that pathing may not be relevant, right? You might do a perfect path that a spy could do perfectly very easily, or you might just sit in a conversation as we did this time. So there's a pretty big risk in how much time you spend with AI control. But against someone who really, really gets a lot. Oh, wow. What happened
Whoa!
here?
Oh, I think I know. I think I can tell why. So if you look at like around 2 minutes, you see like Red Dress's path. She bounces a little bit off of Tex, but then kind of walks right through Ambassador, and then maybe Nebula was looking for like a bounce on the pub
I
door,
do you think
and
it
then
was the
does a
little,
weird
the
little
little
path.
catch on bar? It looked
Yeah,
like
I think that's a possible. It might have been like some sort of like ghost path, but yeah, it definitely looks like Ethan saying in the chat how it looks like he clipped bar, and
yeah,
I
yeah.
would kind of agree.
Yeah, that's very interesting because you don't. I mean, like when you look at the path and like look at what was shot for, it makes sense because seeing that you would really expect that to be a spy, like almost all the time. But there are always surprises with how AI paths sometimes in this game. They're so consistent until they're not. I know whenever I've learned something about pathing, I have definitely misshot for every single thing I've learned about pathing onto an AI before because I was like, that doesn't look like it should be an AI, and then it totally was. So even we've been talking a little about how strong Nebula's pathing is, and even then it can steer you wrong. And I think like you were mentioning to me while we were not live that like one time you got shot just for a path by Nebula, and you were like, "How do you even do anything against that?" And I think here is, of course, the downside to that idea of Nebula just going ahead and being like, "Okay, that was enough. I'm going to shoot for it."
Yeah,
Of
my
just
my
yeah,
big question is that I don't think Red Dress has another mission there.
right,
So,
exactly.
and this is comp, and I would not expect Nebula to just shoot for a path of like the first game of a set without having an accurate mission count. So I'm very interested why we just decided it was okay to shoot Red Dress there.
It might have just been a bit of overconfidence, something that maybe Nebula was like 90%. Like maybe that path Nebula should have been 90% sure, but decided that he was 100% sure, and it was that 10% that burned him. Seems to be like kind of where it is for me in that case.
Yeah.
But it's a big boon for Scarny to start this match off because as we've been mentioning, it's so hard to get spy wins against Nebula in a normal situation, and right now we've just been gifted one.
And it's very interesting because I also feel like I think Nebula's goal with the shot was just to sort of make a statement, and I think it's also good like a good like competitive like psychology move where it's like you shoot them like for like a really like for a path maybe that they couldn't control as well like this bar path because like maybe clip bar happens to spies all the time, and it lowers their morale a little bit going into the rest of the set, but I think you can't really make a shot like that unless you have a nice mission count, and so. Um, but yeah, like you said, Scarny now is in a really great spot to sort of pick up a sniper win here and take an early lead on his own double of pub.
Yeah,
So I'd be
that
very
that would be
shocked by
very
that shot.
exciting. But we got to see if that actually happens because we've been talking up Nebula Sniper so much, but Nebula, such a strong spy
Oh
as
yeah,
well. Really, really subtle is how I would describe Nebula's spy. All of Nebula's best games are ones where it just feels like he's a ghost, and the sniper never even notices him, and then he just wins.
Oh yeah,
Whereas
definitely.
like other players, they might win a lot of games as spy, but like they're that top suspect, but barely get away with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So subtle is how I would describe Nebula Spy, and he does it really well. We'll see how it goes on pub in three, two, one, playing it.
Yeah, and like you said, obviously very good sniper, but his spy probably the best in Spy Party. I don't really know a lot of people who would really debate that. And
Yeah, here
yeah,
it
we
is.
go for
That
a nice request
standing
early
bug.
bug, and we
Oh, look
highlight
at
for
the.
it. We kind of saw it,
Yeah,
so that's
that's
wow.
huge.
But
I
not
don't think
seen though. Not seen
I,
though.
I don't think Scarny saw it to be confident enough to shoot, but like when I saw Nebula line up into this conversation with this particular spacing, I was thinking like that, you know, this standing bug could very well be on the mind, because at the beginning of the game, this is a little bit of a tell that a spy is setting up for a standing bug after a little while. If you see a character that's next to the ambassador and that goes a little bit further into the conversation circle, like further in, like towards the center of it, that's going to get you closer to the ambassador without making it look like you're crowding the ambassador, and you're able to actually not literally crowd the ambassador and send them away using that mechanic. So you have more time to sit there and wait for a standing bug. Um, so very,
Any in the
you
red.
know, like I was half expecting that bug as soon as
Oh,
Nebula landed there,
and we are
um,
dead for that contact.
and we are.
Yeah.
Any in the
Scarny
red.
definitely saw it, but it looked like if Nebula wasn't immediately dead for like the bug there, I'm assuming it was like just a really strong credit. But um, this is what I mean though. Like you have the time to wait for like a mission count, and so Scarny doing that is saying, I don't need to shoot you for this bug yet. I can still wait and watch the party a little bit because I know that it's only a bug and at most a seduce if you're just sitting in that conversation. So I'm gonna wait for a contact and just watch the party and just parse things out after that. And we ended up taking a nice disciplined shot after the BB, which I really like because Nebula also could have had flirt done. I think if it was a two flirt, maybe I'm not completely sure, but
No, the first one was 33%.
yeah, okay,
But it could have been a two flirt actually, had it been a two green test to game from Nebula. So it's a very well timed shot in the fact that Nebula could have been a mission win countdown at that exact moment. So
yeah,
well done from Scarny there. A bit of a gift from Nebula and a nicely caught bug from Scarny in a space where you wouldn't really expect the spy to go for a bug, which is probably why Nebula went for it, because like it's right out there in the open, but you know it's so right out there at the open that you might expect the sniper to be looking somewhere else.
But you know who else
But
could take that bug? I think Scarny also would take that bug, and I think that's also why Scarny was on top of it. Because Scarny also is a player that will go for like these like just hyper aggressive strategies. That it's like, and I say this all the time. I'm like Scarny's spy is annoying in the fact that like he will just go for things where you're just never thinking in a million years a spy would do this, and then like he just like you're like alone with the ambassador on a window pad, right? He just
mhm.
bugs, and it's like I wasn't even watching that because like what crazy person is going to bug there? You know what I mean? But that's
Yeah,
Scarny, and so I think that like play from him, like that sniper play, is sort of reflective of his own spy game, and I think it's just a good catch because he's still watching it, and even though like there is all that activity in bar, so
yeah, absolutely. And so our underdog goes up 2-0 to start the match. Really, really impressive here from Scarney. We'll see if it can hold on, because you know when you have suddenly that lead, it does a little bit lock into your brain of, oh goodness, all I have to do to beat Nebula now, well, all I have to do, quote unquote, is to
yeah,
hold on
all
Sniper. That's not exactly an easy task against
tall
Nebula.
order,
Tall
yeah,
order, but it's
very
much
tall order,
easier. It's like an order of magnitude easier than having to get a spy win somewhere when Nebula's really on his game.
yeah,
So we'll see how this plays out. jScarny now back on the spy side as Red Dress here in three, two, one, playing it.
yeah, and also just like a lot of pressure because he's starting up 2-0 against Nebula in a tournament finals. And I think it's Scarny's first tournament finals. So
Oh
I,
yeah.
I can't even imagine like the nerves right now. But at least he's spying. If he was sniping, I'd be a little bit more scared. But the fact that he's spying and gets to control those nerves a little bit before he has to snipe pub again is what I really like. And we're on AI control as Red Dress, which I think is
Hmm.
hilarious.
This will be a fingerprintable briefcase, so it's probably what I would do if I were Scarny is I would let the AI control this all the way
Take you out
over
of
to where the
bar.
ambassador is
Yes, agreed,
until we
agreed.
stop, then take control, then get the print, and then either put it down or return it as normal. And
I
here it is,
agree.
Scarny going
And he
exactly with
does
that
that.
plan.
Yes. Now just
I think we were supposed to return that
oh
though when the
yeah, we're
ambassador
supposed to return that.
stopped.
Yeah, I don't like that, but I like that he did that.
Yeah.
And looks like we have no extra suspicion for it. And do expect inspecting. There's a lot of delegates here. So I like the game state a lot right now if I'm Scarny.
Yeah, that non-return could burn us, because we do see that Nebula is currently using highlights for bar visitors, so we don't have a good idea of like where the suspicion is in Nebula's brain. Because usually if a sniper is doing highlights for suspicion or threat, you have a bit more of a concrete idea. But because this is about just tracking a certain mission, we very well could be one of the top suspects for that non-return, and we wouldn't know it.
Yeah. We do go into bar, but okay, we do
Ooh.
go for a time ad, but I think Nebula saw us watch check and then saw Tex watch check. I'm assuming Nebula is like really hardcore watching paths here. Not horrible path, I don't think, but yeah, he saw the time ad, I
Oh
think.
no.
That is tragic, and
Penny
it's
in
a
the
white
red.
test, but it could be good. Yeah, we are definitely the top suspect. We're probably dead because now Texas
Yeah.
low light our other time adder. I think this is just a done game. I think Nebula now is gonna wait for like one more like contact or something, or like another print, and then we're probably dead. So
Yeah. You saw that little highlight onto the real DA there and onto us. And as you mentioned, that is going to be pretty devastating, now that we don't have that progress. If we had gotten that progress, I would have felt perhaps a little bit better about the fact that maybe we could get a like difficult print somewhere that let Nebula just kind of let slip and win the game via that. Even that's a little bit of a low chance, but with the double agent moving conversations and now being Hylet as credited for being the real double agent, there's just no way.
yeah, but here's an interesting thing because Duke went to statue. So if we sent a fake BB right now, never mind. But if we sent a fake BB like 10 seconds ago, would that Nebula shoot Duke or something crazy? Or are we just so big of a suspect for time at? Okay, probably hated that entry. We're probably just dead because our laser's right on us here.
Yeah, doesn't look very good here for Scarny.
We are top sus, 1,000%. But I mean, Nebula just civ shot, so it's not over just
Penny in
yet.
the red.
But now it BB, and we're probably but Nebula highlight Duke, and we're not dead yet. So if this briefcase gets dropped and we go to it, I'd imagine we die. But it is possible that
Yeah,
we
it's very
the mission
possible.
win.
Double agent goes over this conversation. We're gonna go to this briefcase. I think
We
this
do
is where
go
we
to it.
die. I
Very
think this
spy
is
like
yeah.
path two, straight into the briefcase, not even doing any curves or anything. But yeah, nice shot from Nebula there.
Yeah, I think we saw Nebula holding the shot until the mission count just to kind of because got burned by taking the early shot in that last game,
Yes.
and because Nebula says, "Okay, I have a very solid mission count. I'm just gonna wait till the missions are done, just to be 1,000% sure
Penny in the red.
because I've just gotten burned," and that is indeed what we see.
Yeah, 1,000%. I definitely agree. Still a good game from Scarny. I think. I think we just got caught for the time ad, and it's just a case of Nebula just being on top of it and sniping good, which is what you expect out of him. So, you know, good shot. Good. I'm glad that we waited for missions this time. Hopefully, is going to be a little bit more cautious going moving forward after that Civ on pub. Maybe saw his life flashing before his eyes a little bit, but seems to be. I'm assuming we've recovered at this point, and now we get another chance to spy win. So if we could pull one here, it's really nice. We start at 2-2 and then go into our double. So Nebula in a nice prime position here to take back like the tempo of the match. I think.
Yeah, I mean, still having to get a spy win by to even it out, but knowing Nebula, that is very possible. But I am excited to see if jScarny can keep that lead going into Ballroom. And we'll only find out by watching this next game. Nebula on the spy side playing as Teal in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Okay, start on AI control. Interesting.
That is very interesting. I agree. It's not. It's
Scar.
not. It's not really like Nebula. I think to start on AI control, and Scarny is not really super well known for doing big pathing things. So I
Yeah.
am very curious as to the decision here. We do end up taking control, maybe trying to go for this flirt, but sees that with the take there, it was likely that RST would be walking away before. Time
Time
ad
ad.
pretty early here.
Yeah.
Multiple people at windows. It's a white time ad though.
Our laser was on us though a little bit after it, but I'm assuming we're gone so quick that we can't reliably credit anybody with time at. I think.
Yeah, and this is just going to be like we haven't gotten any mission progress done in that first minute of this game, and so the extra 45 seconds is going to just kind of make up for that. And the main thing it's going to do is make this all the more difficult for not shooting AI in terms of where Scarny is. because as we did not catch that, time ad and we didn't narrow anything down from it, AI are just all the more likely to complete statues, to complete fingerprints, to go to bar, and to get suspicion, and then potentially get in for a real contact later on in the game. And that's going to be a hard hold to make. And I think that is what Nebula is banking on during this game.
Yeah, and I think like the one of the major like factors when you're like kind of sniping a pub game, and this is just in general, is I think you have to like really look at who has statues. And I'm assuming the highlights right now are just statue goers. I haven't been paying attention to be honest who went to statues, but they're both in conversation now. So if Nebula fired off a fake here, Duke would have real, and according to Scarny's sniper side, and you know how likely is Scarny to hold on a statue goer is my question.
I don't know. I mean, I think Nebula wants to wait until the real DA of Smallman is in conversation. Now we're going to go
And
for
in
this
the room.
contact, just
And Salmon's
because,
in.
yeah,
You
Salmon's
could go
in,
for it.
Duke's in
Makes
for
sense.
both of them are in for real. Now Scarny actually has a real decision because we have two statue visitors
He is
that
thinking about
have
it.
real contact and probably have enough time to have completed flirt. It is, and this is the reason why it's really important to actually watch flirt on pub, but it can be so hard to do. There are enough guests already.
Yeah. Now it's like a minute 20 left, and so if you're Scarny, you are like at this point in the game, here's the thing. If you have not shot Duke or Salmon yet, you basically should just lowlight them because they easily could have flirt done by now. And I think that it's completely correct here to lowlight Duke and Salmon because you have to
They would
think
have
if
already
the
won
game
the
has not
game.
ended yet, there's no
Yeah.
way Nebula would not be done with flirt, and they both have real BB.
Yeah,
So,
well, I think it's a decision
ooh,
of
that path.
like,
Ooh, that path.
ooh, it's highlight four.
Yeah, that path. I was gonna say that was really okay. And we talk. It looks so much like spy timing. And I have to assume that we are on this. And since Salmon and Duke aren't dead, if Teal goes to statues, I can see us finding the shot here. Assuming that we don't know, if assuming that we are assumed for like a real BB, and I think that might be the plan. Is that we're gonna go to like maybe far statues. We don't really bounce that great off the bar door. We might go. Time map would also be an option here, but now we're in the beeping, and so it's very tense because what do you do if you're Nebula? You have 20 seconds. You felt the highlight for the path. You have to just tap
Ooh,
him out,
tries
and
to go
that's
for
a
the
bug, and we
plug.
definitely see it's gonna be shot.
My goodness, what a beautiful hold from jScarny there.
Agreed,
That was really
1000%.
impressive because, as we mentioned, there were two people who who had inspects, had real contact, and jScarny was just confident enough that they were not the spy to hold that shot and then find that less than ideal path from Nebula. And
Yes.
yeah, really, really impressive so far from jScarny.
Yeah, I have to say, I'm gonna say it right now. Scarny has been playing like great. I think maybe like the first game was a little bit of luck because we saved shot, but the other three games though, I mean, Scarny's been putting up some pretty good spy games in my opinion, and then that hold there onto Duke and Salmon. Like I said, it's really the question of if you're gonna shoot them. Like, do you shoot them after the contact? Because you almost have to. And since you didn't, I'm assuming Scarny was probably thinking, okay, well now if the game hasn't ended yet, it's probably not them. So I probably can hold until they do something else maybe, and then I'll just wait to see what happens if the spy pops up somewhere. We saw the path, which I also kind of saw. Like I was like, wait, that could definitely be highlight, and then we highlight for it, and
Yeah,
it's just and then yeah, the bug. I like the idea from Nebula to go for a bug there. You have to do something, and I don't think statues is correct if you felt the highlight. So yeah,
yeah.
just great, and that just justifies the pub double, and it's 3-1 going into Nebula's double, which,
Mhm.
I will say Nebula probably has an advantage because of his spy, but Scarny also very aggressive, and anything can happen on this ballroom set. I'm very excited to see what happens. And you're a ballroom
Absolutely.
connoisseur, so I can't even imagine how you're feeling right now about this
Oh,
one.
I'm in love with the fact that we get double ballroom for this finals. It's going to be really fun, especially with these two spies, as you've mentioned. They both have a lot of very interesting things going for them. Now, I do want to ask you, how likely do you think it is that Scarny continues with the AI control strategy that we've been seeing from the first two spy games on a venue with a fair bit less pathing strictness than pub?
Well, here's my thing. So in this spot currently, I don't see the ambassador. Well, I should probably like get on the game first, but I don't see the ambassador in view completely at like the current moment, or they're like a little bit near us. So like I would say you could hold AI control if you don't spawn next to like say Purloin or like ambassador or like even like your ST. Because like there's no downside to it, right? Like you don't get any the sniper any like possible like highlights for a bad path really early on. And if you're not next to like a cheese mission anyway, there's no point in going off of AI control.
All
So
right.
I think you could go with that, logic if you're Scarny.
All right, we'll see what Scurry does playing as the spy side, up 3-1. And
Rocker.
3, 2, 1, playing it.
And do instantly go off AI control. So, but we
Yeah.
do go to this window pad over here. Definitely behaviorally and spy like not great, but do live pretty quickly though. I wonder if
Yeah,
Nebula took note of that.
the quick leave is actually, if I were sniping this, what I would take note of, if I were taking note of this particular flirt, especially like getting to a pad.
I love
Oh
it.
wow, this
I
is
love it. That's
aggressive.
great. But we didn't hit the green, unfortunately. But if we hit that green, we could have done a rush game.
Yeah, I would have loved to see that from Scarny because, we all know how much I love a rush. But unfortunately, no two green on the flirt. But we do have a lot of progress. That is not something that is going to concern us going forward in this game. We're just going to get one more flirt at some point and kind of can weave it in whenever. It's not going to be a big timing thing that's going to be a drag on the rest of our missions here, which is really nice.
Yeah, I agree. And yeah, now our pacing is still fine, and uh, we're not. I don't feel. I mean, I don't feel it from like Nebula's laser, but I don't really feel any sus. I guess in my head right now. So
Yeah.
you know, that feels pretty good. I think, we had a lot of options still in the game. Our flirt's done now, which is fantastic. Now it's about choosing what missions we want to do. The party's kind of centered on this right side, so, maybe we could take like a blue book or something. There's a lot of options. Like you have so many options this early on in the game. You could go to center
Yeah,
here too and be
I
really aggressive. Wow,
yeah,
and we
I
do. And we could
actually
bug there. Okay, well we could have bugged there. I'm just saying. I would have bugged there. But anyway, go ahead.
I'm not sure about center inspects in this particular moment. It's going to give us a lot of attention. I would have preferred to try to find some kind of hardtail that centers around this back conversation that was very clumped there for a second. We have not picked up a highlight for the center statues, though. I'm sure Nebula's seen us, surely.
Oh, he definitely has it. Don't bug here. Okay. Didn't bug there, which is good.
There
Yeah,
it is,
now we
yeah.
have the highlight, so very expected. But I don't mind the plan now because now you can just kind of wait at the last minute. Maybe you hit like a last minute pearl lane contact, and maybe you get it by. But Nebula's probably gonna wash our paths now, so that's the bad part about going to center inspects early on, because then Nebula could just wash your paths. But
It
we'll see.
wasn't even particularly early on. It was just before anything else except for flirt was done. And I
Yeah,
really would have liked to see some kind of progress based around the conversations in the party before we go into a statue mindset, because it's just going to be much harder to get away with the hardtail or prints after those statues.
yeah. And
And
I listen.
despite
I'm excited for
the,
bugs too, but I wonder if we ever get away with that bug at the back of the statues there, because we did have a little bit of cover from that
I
conversation.
think we
So
could have, but it's one of the you have to react quickly for that one to work.
yeah. So what would you do here?
Give me
What's
the
the
red.
plan? I like the fake because, but both okay, but both DAs
Oh,
are
the
up. Okay.
fake the fake is really painful actually. I'm okay.
Okay. I was gonna. Oh, it's
Give
red!
me
It's
the
red!
red.
It's red!
No, we're dead. Wait, we're behind pillar a little bit.
Wait,
It
wait,
was
wait. We ran
somewhat
into a
visible.
green purloin. Wait a minute. This
Wait a
actually
minute.
could work. Maybe, maybe, probably not, but
There's
maybe.
no way because our double agent's still out.
You have
We
to
still need
bug.
one more mission. We have
You have to
20
bug
seconds
here.
left.
TA's out.
I think we have to
Wait, but what if
bug.
Queen gets
It's
shot here? Wait,
taken.
I have to imagine we die here. Wait, did Nebula probably just saw it. Are we dead?
Irish coming into our conversation. No, to a
Yeah, okay,
window.
we do die. We do die. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of expected at that point, but man, that could have been that would have been a crazy path to mission completion if like the red cough into green purloin somehow we miss it and then maybe we hit like a fantastic bug. Um, let's see. So guess this was purloined at 17 seconds and we
Give
took a
me in the
shot at
red.
9 seconds. So yeah, so the time was right there. So even if we got a bug at that back set of statues, it wouldn't have mattered here. So yeah,
I
good shot
think
from
if we get a
Nebula.
bug, though, we can plan on some other kind of mission complete other than the last second purloin.
Yeah.
But the double
Give me
agent
in
was
the
double agent
red.
in conversation at all for the last minute and 30. I don't think they were. That's pretty brutal.
It is pretty brutal, especially for Ballroom. Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, how long? Wait, was double agent was? Hold on. Double agent was in conversation for about 5 seconds at the beginning of the game, and I don't think was in conversation ever for the rest of that entire game. From
That's
three
just
minutes
rough.
down to the last and down until the shot, double agent was out of conversation.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
so brutal.
Yeah, okay, Irish paid actor, I guess. Like,
Yeah,
that's
and
crazy.
it's one of those games as Spy, like, I have ideas about what we maybe could have done differently during that game, but
Oh
when
my
double agent's
gosh.
out for that long, sometimes your options just aren't there, and against a really strong sniper, you kind of lose because the party is doing a thing that is not good for you. Um,
Yeah.
so that's
Too
okay
bad the
though.
double agent wasn't, didn't have the yellow triangle because there was so much activity, center statues, books, a fingerprint on the briefcase. Like, too bad they weren't like, the spy, but or not the
Yeah,
spy, but I guess like a civ. But
yeah. All right, Nebula now on the spy side once again, getting the opportunity to even things up with a very strong spy, and of course, as you mentioned, Ballroom has a lot of opportunity for the spy, especially a subtle spy like Nebula. So we'll see what he can make happen in three, two, one, playing it.
bug maybe? Nope.
Yeah, I did see that potential for a chaos bug as well, but I think there was a little bit too much bouncing going on. That's
We could
the
put
that's the
here.
trouble with chaos bugs is that oh, are we in range? I don't. I think we're just barely out of range here for the
We're just
behind the
barely out of
back bug.
range, I think. Yeah, but that would be so spicy if we were in range.
Consider. Do you want to like shuffle backwards in this conversation to try to get in
I
range for this bug?
I would BB and then do it. I think if I was going to do it, but
Ooh,
I think
interesting
I agree
idea.
with you.
Well, the thing is, if you look at where the sniper camera angle is from, it's from the corner angle, and you do have cover in that direction from the corner angle, so that movement could be covered up by the ambassador, Disney,
Yeah, I
and
agree.
General.
You're right. Yeah, if we're in that corner angle, yeah, we could do it easily. And then, I would chain a BB and then do the bug because like there's no way we're gonna watch that probably, especially with
Yeah,
all the
but
activity going on the other side. So I would love to see it, but I think Nebula. Okay, Nebula now it now knows it's like now or never, because like everyone's
yeah,
out. Oh, but no white dress joined, so maybe.
yeah, that ambassador sitting there for a long time. If we had gotten that twitch backwards off, I think that would have been a really beautiful way to make this first bug happen
Fingerprint.
and make a big bit of mission progress. But no, we're just playing it slowly this time.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't mind it. I mean, Ambassador's still there, so we still have the option. I mean, there is still a print on the drink, a difficult, but I'm assuming maybe we just don't want the extra heat if we are gonna go for the bug, maybe. I
One
would really consider
Sorry,
what we're
just
gonna
yeah,
do.
yeah. Because one significant downside to this like long standing the ambassador right here is there's no prints really. The ambassador has taken a drink, and that is all of the prints that have ever been available on the venue for the entire minute and almost 2 minutes that we've been playing.
Right? Yeah.
So I think that means
Oh,
oh
we
we just
bugged.
go for the bug. We just go for the walking bug. It was really well timed. It was timed with a pearl
Yeah.
with a take of the drink that I think jScarny was watching, and so we do get that clean.
Yeah, that's completely clean, I think. So, and then yeah, we have a minute and a half now, so I'd imagine we go to center and specs. Or no, we go to side. Could always swap. That's an interesting play. Or we could do statue to statue. I don't know. Let's see what Nebula has in mind. Yeah, probably swap.
Here's swap. It's a
White
white
swap.
test.
It's white. We were watching it for a little bit. Oh wait. Okay,
It's
wait.
it's
Did
on
he see it
screen. It's
though?
on screen.
Our laser was
Does
watching it though.
Scarny notice it?
Instant BB.
Contact
We could
off.
just die.
One more flirt. We're in mission win
That's it.
countdown.
We're in mission
10
win countdown
seconds.
now.
Scarny has to see it right now.
You have to shoot it
Seven,
right now.
6, 5. I don't think the swap has
You
been
have to just
seen.
shoot this. Yeah,
Nebula's gonna
it's
get
not
away
seen.
with this beautiful game.
Nicely done. And a green pearl at the end. Yeah. Yeah,
Man, that
nice
is
game. The
heartbreaking.
patience not to just to bug, and we bug at the perfect time when we know Starny's going to zoom in for a Perlin, which maybe was a little bit of pregame prep because I was like thinking to myself, Nebula probably did a little bit of research on Scarny and maybe knows that he likes to zoom in on Purloins. It's a thing a lot of snipers like to do, so maybe we just decide to go for it as like someone's taking a drink, so that while he's watching that, and I think it works out perfectly. And then we just go for a swap, and I'm surprised that Scarny didn't see that swap, but uh,
Mhm. Yeah,
it's
that
just a great
swap
way to
was
get into
definitely
mission win
Scarny's
countdown at the
opportunity
ending.
back into that game. I like the finish from Nebula. Like that, this is a finish that is something that I can see myself doing when I get that bug. Like this is the kind of thing that I love to do. However, with the white swap, that definitely was jScarny's opportunity. And another really strong thing about this bug is the fact that we did not move for the first 2 minutes of that game. And so when we finally did move, and that's our very quick bug, right when Scarny was distracted, when you see, like, for example, someone walking from across the venue or someone who's been moving around a fair bit get near the ambassador, you're more likely to have your eyes drawn. But ambassador and wheels were sitting there for literally 2 minutes
Yeah,
in that game, and so you're just like over time the amount of attention you pay to them and their potential for bug, even though wheels is close by the entire time, goes down and down and down, which is another really strong reason that Nebula got away with this bug. So that was well played on that bug by Nebula. And now we're back to even, which is just heartbreaking for Starny.
yeah. I like the plan. I like the patience. It pays off. Like we said, I could definitely see Nebula winning a lot of ballroom. Um, I think it's fully capable of having some nice spy games like that one. But now we're all tied up again, so now we're back to basically like a clean slate. So I wonder how the two are going to play now. So
Yeah. Obviously we've talked about the pressure of being in a finals against Nebula, being in your first finals against Nebula, and then having that lead. Now, like, what's the mental game of like now you've dropped that lead, you've lost a sniper game, and to win, you're going to have to get it back at some point. That's like one of the things that Scarny is going to need to do if he wants to take control back is going to have to be pushing through the negative mentality that game has caused or might have caused, right? So we'll see how that influences what's happening on the spy side, influences what's happening on the sniper side in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Quick into green books. I would be interested to see if we do anything with this book. I don't think I would love an animation microphone. Ooh, never mind. It's happening and it's off screen entirely.
yeah, I was gonna say I think I like a nice early microfilm here because it's kind of free. If we're not being watched for it, I feel like it's always a lot less sus than other missions to do at the end of a game. So yeah, good progress here. And now I would love to as soon as Smallman lands in combo to go for a flirt because I feel like our pacing will be really really good at that point, and we have a lot of options. So let's see where Smallman lands though.
Yeah, in retrospect, because like the initial thing that made me not want to go for that microphone was the fact that the ambassador really wasn't in trouble, was just alone at windows, right? But when you look at the rest of the party, it was very clumped over at the left, and Nebula had not yet started to do lights for things like statues, and so we actually found a really good timing where Nebula pulled the camera over to the left, and so even though we were completely like exposed during the microfilm, we were also off screen, which is just not something you expect to be very often on Ballroom, but it was well timed.
Right.
I'm
We could
worried that we may have gotten a bug
get
credit for that.
credited for bug.
Yeah, because that is very clearly, I think, a possibility for like when you might bug, and it's hard to tell if it did or did not happen if you're the sniper from that particular angle.
Yeah, but we're not like highlight or anything, which I don't mind. But hopefully we didn't get flirt paired at Windows with Smallman. Otherwise, we are gonna have a rough time going forward. But
I did
this is
have,
what we're watching
again,
normally
in
here.
my match, Scarny did do a lot of this microfilm print mission combo, and so I'm not surprised to see that kind of come back in this game here.
Yeah, and I think it's a good plan too. I think it's a good plan because, like I said, I feel like both are pretty like. I don't think microphone is done enough. I mean, I definitely don't do it a lot. I feel like, but it's not done enough by spies. And but I don't like going there now because Ambassador and Toby are both over here. We really need like
We can get this
Ambassador to
drink
move.
fingerprint potentially. Drink fingerprint, flirt, contact. We have to finish off that drink quickly and then finally get to that second
Could request
bookcase.
after white dress to make it a lot less sus. We're not watching it though. I don't think.
Yeah, I think that we're okay. Unfortunately, the
Saw
drink
it too
print
late.
is gone now,
I think
so
we
we
just saw
don't
Amber with
have
the
that.
drink and we're like, oh wait, crap. But
We can't take this. Yeah, we have to reject.
okay, nice reject.
I don't think there's any reason to be bugging here, but the problem is that we're down to
It's
50
very
seconds. We
visible.
still need to contact, we still need to do our microphone, and we still need to get a print. All those things are possible. I think we're in range for a bug here. We're gonna go for it. It was
Yeah,
right
maybe now.
during the take, right? Same as last game from Nebula. We have the bug. Now we just
Wow.
need a little bit more. We could give up on one of the other missions that we had progress on, and that's really smart from jScarny because it's hard to let go from a mission you already have progress on. But sometimes when the time is low like this, you have to go for it. Here comes the contact. There's only a few people in for real. We need one more print. We have to
We
go.
need to go to
There
Windows
it is.
now. We need to go
But the
now.
ambassador might be too close for this briefcase. Will we get
I
shot for
would
being
wait,
too
wait,
close?
but that means you could wait on the briefcase though. I think we're out of range for obligation. But this could
It's a
wait.
highlight. Will we get shot?
Oh
7 seconds.
my
Yes.
gosh, this could end in a spy win. Oh no, but it doesn't. Okay, yeah. That makes sense. But the shot makes a lot of sense. Maybe we're credited for something like bug or something already. But yeah, I'm assuming we had fingerprints. We are probably just thinking about it for a little bit. But oh my gosh, that was looking so close to being a spy win.
Yeah, and this is actually a little bit tragic for Scarny because what it felt like to me in the end of that game is that Nebula
in the end of
knows
red.
this is way too close for an AI to go for this briefcase. The ambassador is still within range where that's not going to happen, and says, "Okay, that's weird." And maybe if this were at like 2 minutes left in the game, Nebula just highlights for that and waits and watches that character more. But with 15 seconds left, Nebula decides that's enough. And I am like, my uncertainty about Alice's mission progress here is higher than my certainty about, or rather, my uncertainty is higher than my certainty about like how likely Alice is the spy here. And so when that happens, even though maybe Nebula was not 100% sure and maybe didn't have the full mission count, took the shot anyways. And that is something that you have to do if you're going to be one of the best snipers. You have to be able to recover in those moments when you spy something like that. That's going to tell you, okay, this is the spy, but I don't actually have the mission count. But everything else says this is the spy and issue right now. So it's a really good show of intuition from Nebula.
Yep, I totally agree with everything you said. I think that it makes so much sense for Nebula to at least see that briefcase, and it happens for a lot of snipers where you see a mission and you have to kind of go back in your head and say, okay, did they have prints? Yes or no. If I think they did have prints, but they do, okay, do they have a fourth mission I can credit? Well, he had that briefcase. Could have potentially briefcase bugged, could have bugged back to back. Maybe I have to credit that. The BB was if he saw the BB, he was in BB like basically right as he entered, and so maybe just going back through his head and thinking, yeah, I kind of have to shoot this, and also yeah, obviously the briefcase was out of range. I don't think you were obligated for that briefcase, and that also could have been another factor, but yet again, it just
Yeah,
shows obviously Nebula, a very high level sniper. I could see people easily missing that shot, but Nebula does
yeah.
not miss that shot because
And for the
he's
first
very
time
good.
in
So
this set, Nebula now in the lead. Although it's kind of the lead of, oh, you've sniped a spy, and now you're on the spy side of that same venue. So it's not really a true lead until Nebula locks in a spy win here. But
correct.
that does seem like it very well could happen, as we've been saying. Nebula's a very strong spy, so we're hoping to see. I mean, I'm personally. It's always fun to root for the underdog, you know. I am personally
Yeah,
hoping to see Scarny hold it here and really make this go down the stretch with Nebula. So I'm excited to see it in
I'm
three.
expecting a timeout here.
Interesting. Okay. I'll let's see if your prediction is correct. I want to hear what causes that in thought in your head in 3, 2, 1, playing it. So why timeout? Do you think?
I feel like timeout just made a lot of sense for me there because I feel like Nebula hasn't really timeouted a lot, and I feel like the ambassador's on the other side of the venue, and Toby was moving around a bunch, so I thought maybe we could instantly go on that statue pad or the window pad and just timeout there, and I think it would have been
Ooh,
probably pretty like good. We do
we're
flip
doing a
cheese and
cheese
flirt, which
flirt.
is nice, really good. But yeah, I don't know. I just feel like timeout seemed like likely there from Nebula, but so I'm surprised we didn't do it. It just felt like such a Nebula thing to do. But
Yeah. I'd like to, mention one more thing about that last game of why it's so particularly tragic for jScarny is because I think that if the ambassador had walked almost anywhere except for that green bookcase, it would have been far enough away to justify picking up that briefcase and it not being illegal, and we would not have gotten shot potentially. But here's that time ad. I
there's the
mean,
timeout.
it,
Yeah.
it wasn't quite immediate as you predicted, but you have correctly identified that this game did include time ad. Hold on.
Yeah, I just felt like it just felt like a good time for it because I feel like if you're Nebula, you think it hasn't been done in a little while, and Nebula very capable of determining if it's a good party state to time add, and I think that right there he pretty correctly identified it's a great time to do it, and
Interesting
so
that
we
we
just
did
did
a
it.
zero cycle takeout from this green bookcase. We have our flirt completely done. We have a timeout on the board, so our pacing, we have lots of time to do a lot of things here. So I'm wondering if we just take this, keep it in our hands for a while, and try to dump this back into blue later in the game. But the way we're hovering around green makes me think that that is a little bit less likely because generally speaking, you like to see, spies like to move away from the bookcase that it's actually from.
Yeah, yeah, I'm interested to see right now what we're gonna do because we have this book. Obviously, I'm assuming the plan is to return it, but we have 2 minutes now to play with, and Flirt's already done, so
215 actually.
yeah, right. Yeah, so much time, and I just wonder what we're gonna do because obviously microfilm, but could go for a bug or something. Maybe after we
Microfilm bug is a
return it.
very classically strong mission complete, like kind of those one of those ones where when you get away with it,
Penny
you
in the
just
red.
win, and there's not even a question.
Okay, nice
Okay, here
BB,
comes the
two low lights,
contact.
three low lights.
Will we see a dump into blue? I would be very intrigued if we saw with in combination with the time out here, putting this back correctly and to try to like even potentially net a low light from jScarny, then doing missions from there. This could be a bug. Yeah, this is going to definitely be
Yeah,
a
this should
bug.
definitely
I think
yeah,
it was
definitely a bug
slightly
setup.
visible on Scarny's side, though.
I think Nebula goes all the way to the end of that pad because I think in the moment he didn't know if he wanted to like return the microfilm. So I think we just barely decide at the end to just return it. But yeah, now we have 3 missions done, need one more, and I mean center's always an option now, Purloin's an option now, and yeah, maybe go for a swap. I would assume Prince are off the table, but Ambassador almost takes a drink, but he does not take a drink. So
Prints are not off the table. We are going immediately into this briefcase, which was, I believe, technically obligated. But a lot of the time, even when something's obligated, you might not necessarily want to go for it. On the other
here we go
hand,
though.
this could be a briefcase into center statues, yeah, for the finish, and say, okay,
Wow.
I've got this bug. I'm going to delay a shot even further, like by saying, okay, you definitely know I have one print, but I don't have my second print yet. And if you have a good track on this, you're going to be really not wanting to shoot me until you see that second print. Is
Wow.
what I'm thinking. A little bit of a laser hover
Thinking
over
about
Nebula,
it,
and I think this game, yeah,
my thing is like what I don't like about that is that we go from briefcase to center inspect. So if you're completely on top of prints there, then I think it's fine not to shoot there if we didn't see the bug. But if you don't know if they have another print or not, I think you almost have to shoot there because maybe you just have to credit some other print somewhere. But the crux of this game, I think, just falls on the fact that like we didn't have the bug, and if we don't have the bug, there's no way we can find the shot with center
yeah.
inspects because we don't have anything else to shoot with center inspects.
And it ended up being that that book was justification for our later bug path, right? I think that if the ambassador had not stood where the ambassador, in that conversation that gives us a perfect bug path into the briefcase, and not the bookcase rather, we may have gone for the dump into blue. But Nebula seeing that opportunity, seeing I have this book in my hands, jScarny probably knows where it's from. I can justify this path behind the ambassador here, and when you can justify a path like that, your suspicion for a bug becomes much, much lower. And though that was very slightly visible from the sniper side, it was not caught. It was not suspected because of the justification of the path. And then the briefcase saying, because I think the time that Nebula finishes statues here, you could very reasonably, as a sniper, say, it's Nebula. Maybe he could have a bug and shoot. But with the print, you're thinking, okay, this looks like if it's Kane, it's probably a print inspects game for Kane. And so I'm going to wait for one more print. And that gives you enough time to just get through the mission win countdown. It's just really, really well put together from Nebula.
Yeah, I agree. I'm also interested because like I don't know why, but I thought at the end there we were gonna one cycle the statue and then maybe just go to the blue bookcase to finish up the print. I don't know if Ambassador walked away or something, and maybe that's what made Nebula decide. But I also thought that would have been an interesting sort of thing. But I'm assuming that we didn't just because we were at green bookcase before. So maybe just opting for the center inspect just because it seemed like a smarter play at the time.
Yeah. And now, despite Scarny's early lead, we have a 4-0 sweep from Nebula on Ballroom to just take control back. And that is perhaps one of the scariest things about Nebula, right? We saw the early lead. We were rooting for jScarny to hold on to it. But then Nebula just plays lights out for 4 games in a row. And we're right into the situation where Nebula is kind of in the expected position.
Yeah, and we are buns on library. And starting in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Early book. Instant microphone, but that's a horrible time to do
Oh,
because Toby and Ambassador are walking right by. That is insane timing.
um, did we get away with this?
There's no way. This we have
It's
to
right
credit it
now.
at
It a little
least.
bit feels. I either we got away with this, or Nebula's like 99.9% sure and is just waiting, and like not even
Yeah.
reacting with lights. In fact, I think it's as the game goes on, I think it's more and more likely that we're just dead because Nebula hasn't even gone in low lit like the rest of the cast, um, and that is something that you would usually do if you were playing a normal game and you didn't just have the spot already.
Yeah. But I would think right now that like if we really did see that, we're probably just dead. But we're not dead yet. So
Well, yeah, that's true. Objectively,
uh,
not dead yet.
I mean, a white test as Toby and Ambassador are walking by, I'd assume that we did not see this, which is crazy. And this is what I mean. Scrunny will just do things that it's like, who does this there, but he does, and it makes it work.
Yeah, it reminds me of like how I played Spy when I was like maybe 2 or 3 years into playing the game. Just really, really hyper aggressive. These days I still love my self aggression, but I temper it a lot more. And you know what? jScarny is teaching me again. Hey, maybe you should go back to that a little bit. Just do things. Green
Yeah.
test
Ooh, a
fingerprint off this
green
book.
fingerprint. I am your highlight
Oh,
for that
highlight
though.
though.
Highlight for the print. I wonder if we're highlight for the print or highlight for the bookcase visit.
Yeah, that is a good
'Cause I can see
question.
both.
I mean,
Getting a
as I
microphone
mentioned,
behind the filler.
jScarny, like if Nebula did any sort of research on jScarny's spy, as I mentioned, jScarny did do this print microfilm a lot against me in particular, and potentially against other players as well. And so having higher amounts of suspicion on any character that might be doing one or both of those missions is possibly something that Nebula is considering right now, and that's why we have that highlight. Here comes a contact. It's going to be a lot of low lights. It looks like.
Yeah. Take the DB and then yeah, obviously go back into center bookcase. You don't want to attract any more suspicion. So now we're gonna see if there is a
Oh, it's off screen. It's off screen. It's off
white
screen. It's off
and
screen.
ambassador's walking right by us.
Neutral
And but we're
suspicion.
low. So it was just for the briefcase visit or the bookcase visit. Sorry. Wow. So if
Wow.
ambassador
Oh,
goes to a
right.
statue pad
Okay. You know what
and
it
we get
was?
finished prints.
Nebula. The way Nebula does memorization for bookcases is one of the bookcases he just highlights for, and if he sees the highlight go to another bookcase, that means it's automatically from the wrong bookcase, right? So that was actually a temporary
Highlight for
tracking
prints
low
now
light,
too though.
is what it was. Here we finish fingerprints. We do pick up the highlight again, but now we're just one inspect and potentially one flirt away from being in mission one countdown. And the question is, there's no way we go for a green purloin here,
I
right?
was
That would
gonna
be too
say that would have
insane.
been insane. I would have been like, no way.
I feel like we also would have been caught for that if we had gone for it. That's just something that Nebula is aware of as a possibility.
This is so winnable. If we need to hit this green flirt.
No, we're too
If we
far
hit the,
away.
yeah, we're really far away. I was gonna say.
I think we
Oh
have to
my
stay in.
gosh.
No! Oh, it hurts so bad, especially
But
with
we
only
could
one
still
minute
win though if we're
left.
not credited with that flirt though. If we go to statues, I don't know if we die for it.
Yeah, but oh no.
This is like semi-winnable here.
It's
I
still
think.
winnable. Don't get me wrong, but if we could just go to statues and begin mission one countdown, this would be so much easier in this
I
moment,
agree.
especially as our ST is gonna drop. Where's our ST dropping? We need to know. Bounces away.
Oh, I
This
don't
is
like that.
bad.
I don't like that path at the end there.
We
Yeah,
need to
that
get to our
was.
ST quickly. Go. He's
Oh, I
sipping.
thought we were
We're
gonna
close enough. White test.
go to
It
statues
doesn't
right
matter.
now. You have to go to statues
Go to
right now.
statues.
It
Will
doesn't
we
even matter
die?
that Smallman's blocking the path.
Smallman's. No, we have to go to center statues here because the left one has
Oh,
a
I
fingerprint on it. We don't
one
want to be
cycle
extra
though.
credited.
Oh, you could one cycle this, and I don't think you could shoot it. You need to put it down right
There are
now.
other
Put
people
it
at
down.
statues. He's
Put it
looking for
down.
other
Do not two
swaps. He's
cycle
looking
it.
for other swaps. There's gonna be no
Oh
overtime.
my gosh, this is it. There's
This
no
is
if we
it. This
die
could be
for it.
it.
This is a spy win on library against Nebula. Like,
jScarny says, "Oh, 4-0 on Ballroom. I'm not dead yet. Just because Nebula's this good and can bring it back from a deficit early on pub, says I will win a spy game on library."
out of all venues, library is like one of like I feel like the most like sniper sided venues. It's crazy to me that this is where we get it. And it was with like two white microfilms as Ambassador was walking by both times. I'm just shocked.
Yeah, this was really truly impressive from Scarny, and that miss on the white microfilm at the beginning of the game just was enough, and and I do think that Scarny also benefited from the fact that we had two other highlights at statues right in the end game, right at the same time. And when that happens, the likelihood that you in particular get shot, or really any one of them gets shot before seeing one extra thing from one of the three possibilities, goes down significantly. So a little bit of luck there from the AI on Scarny's
Yeah.
side, combined with an absolutely incredible game, so well
Yeah.
played, knowing to go to
Yeah.
that center statue so we don't get the extra print credit on
And
that
one
left
cycling it
statue.
too.
Oh,
Yeah. Just very. I mean, I feel like it was just really well paced out after the microfilm. The ST timing was a little Monka s. I'm not gonna lie, but uh, I think the last window flirt was like okay, it's we're still fine. I think it was actually like even like I want to highlight like a better decision that he made there at the end, which was not to try and fit onto that like pad where Smallman was, and instead
Mhm.
just go for like the crazy like oh I'm gonna go center inspects and just dare you to wait for this cycle, and if you don't have this microfilm, there's a chance that you don't see it, even though we were highlight for fingerprint. So we just didn't
Yeah.
have microfilm, and I think that's what made us lose the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Such a and this, also for what it's worth might be aftershocks from that very first game as well. Nebula, there's a world in which Nebula did not do that intuit like that pathing shot at the
Oh
very first
yeah, you're
game
right.
and is more confident in that moment
Yes,
going, I'm going to shoot without the full mission count. But
right.
because of how the past of this set has gone, wanted to wait for that last mission, didn't
Yes,
have
I
it,
think
and
I
was
agree.
unable to find the shot.
Yeah, that's a really interesting point because, like, yeah, I feel like Nebula, I feel like is definitely way more than capable of taking a shot there, even if like he doesn't have the microphone because he did see us at Green Bookcase, and so maybe you could credit it somehow. But yeah, I think maybe a little first game, uh, maybe just flashbacks was like I need to wait for 5 missions here and just holds the shot, and this time it's wrong actually to hold because you missed the mission, your count's off.
Yep.
So, just
Really,
well played
really
by
impressive
Scarny. I
work.
mean, just
You know,
very
and
just
and
well played.
I think at this point we have to come to the conclusion that you know this is Scarney's first final. Scarney's relatively newer. Hasn't had that huge results like Nebula has. A lot of the other players in this tournament, Nebula, Ethan, you, even me. I've had some pretty strong results in the past, and so perhaps we just came in with underestimating Jay Scarney a little bit too much,
A little bit,
and
yeah.
now we're seeing jScarny in the finals for the very first time and is taking it to one of the best players the game has ever seen. This
And
is
he's
a
showing us why he
statement.
deserves to be here. Like,
Yeah.
even if like you thought he was an underdog before coming in, I mean, you definitely think that he deserves it now because the way he's playing is just fantastic. I mean, I cannot state it enough. Like, getting a snipe spy win by Nebula is just freaking hard. Getting a
Yeah.
spy win on by Nebula on Library when he's up 5-3 I would say is pretty close to impossible, and we make it happen to keep ourselves in the game. If we get this shot, I would have to imagine that we have like the end of match tempo, where now Nebula Sniper might be a little bit more jumpy because of this win. So if we need to find this shot, if we don't find the shot, I'm gonna be a little worried. But if we do, Scarney has just bought him another ticket to get in the game, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure. But, we still have more Spy Party to play. It's 5-4 in favor of Nebula. jScarny sniping on Library to bring it back to even once again in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Oh my goodness. I don't know exactly what I expected from this finals, Astatine, but this is probably more than I could have ever hoped for. We're going for a
Oh,
purloin behind the pillar.
and
It's
we hit
so
it.
well executed.
That was
Toby didn't
so
have to spin.
nice.
Oh my goodness. The
There's no way we
execution
have
on
that.
that.
That is insanely well timed. I'm gonna go back and look at the angle after that, but like, wow. And we request again to make sure it bounces a little bit longer. Wheels takes, and we try to cover the fade. Just such a well executed play, and you can never
Oh
count
my
Nebula out. I mean,
gosh.
Nebula's spy is so freaking good, and this is why. Like, these executions are always near perfect. We just take out the book
We just
because
take
he's
out this
still
book, and I think
reeling
we're
from the
trying to
chaos of the
use.
purloin. So
Yeah.
this is genius. Yeah, very well
Yeah,
played.
Nebula. I've been calling Nebula Spy very subtle, but and that is very broadly true. But at the same time, Nebula has these plays in pocket. Like you can never be too sure.
Oh, 1000%.
Um, and I think
Time
that
ad
with the
maybe.
chaos of this purloin, oh, we're going behind pillar again.
Oh,
No, okay,
cheesing the
okay, it's
oh
it's a
my
briefcase.
gosh.
It's a briefcase.
We're cheesing
False
the prick
alarm.
probably.
But we're just gonna put it right back down. I
Yep,
think this is
I
completely
love it.
unseen.
I love it. And that's just another free. I mean, our mission count is horrible. In my opinion, I would actually not return this book. I would just go for another print and then do statues or something because I would not give Scarny any chances because Purloin and that print are just completely clean. Like, there's no way they're not. But we
Yeah,
could just dump it and see what happens. But I would love if we did not because that gives Scarny a little bit of a chance. But what an early game. This is such a statement saying, "Listen, it was a great win, but I'm still Nebula and I'm still gonna outplay you." And it's just, oh,
Yeah.
this is such a banger library set.
Yeah,
And returned it
and you are
correctly too.
exactly
Yeah,
correct, Astatine. Nebula says, "Okay,
I
even
totally agree
though
with this play.
when I took this book, it was because like when you take this book out, Nebula, you're thinking, okay, there's some chaos in the purloin. I'm pretty sure I was not caught in the chain at all. I'm really really clean on things, and I could potentially dump this into yellow and get a really nice mission. But
Yes,
you're right with everything else that's gone on, and the fact that we are basically not suspicious at all for any of it it's perfect to just go back, put it back, and adjust the game plan on the fly. And this is something that makes Nebula so scary as well, because you are correct. It's so easy to say in that situation, there's a high chance I get this yellow book through, like putting this back into yellow or into
yes,
a different bookcase through. But why do that when you could go center statues and
exactly.
have an even higher chance?
Yeah, I 100% agree. I think that Nebula knows exactly the spot that he's in, and you can just even see it from the laser. I mean, our laser's not even over here, and Toby's also over here. That should just tell you we have no suspicion, and we could contact here. After Kane goes in, swapping would be interesting, I think.
We're
But
even
I'm
doing
more a
snide
fan of like
statues.
statue.
We're doing this very politely as far as AI go, right?
Yeah,
We're
L-
doing one statue. We're gonna go contact probably. We're gonna go find our print, and then we're gonna go the last set of statues is my guess on the tempo of the rest of this game. It is going to leave us finishing statues probably kind of at the last second, which is one downside for this particular course of action. The yellow book would not have had this problem.
yeah. But now my question is, how do we come back into the game? Is my question because if you're
Statue to
Scarny,
statue. Is
like
this printable?
it might be printable. If it is, that's just a dirt.
It
Oh my
is.
god, what a disgusting game this is gonna be if he does not die for the contact. He could just. Oh my god, but I think we're thinking about
We're
it.
watching for
We're
swap.
watching for
That's what that
swap.
is.
Yeah, I cannot imagine that we have a mission count to shoot on a contact. If Scarny finds the shot in this game, I, that would
It
be
will be
such an
incredible. Yeah.
absurdly stupid crazy good shot. But
Yeah,
I don't see it happening. Nebula just needs to find this contact, and in my opinion, it's all wrapped up.
yeah,
Oh, but we're
and
going okay, we're going over there. I thought we were
and
gonna go for a
the
swap or
we have a
something.
problem though. Double
Good
agent. Oh,
luck.
double agent's in conversation. Never mind.
Okay, yeah. Oh my gosh, 30 seconds left. All right, is Scarny watching for? Okay, we noticed that we didn't watch our path into conversation, but there's only one DA in, I think. Or no, there's two. Never mind, there's two. There's one on the left side. I'm just dumb. But
Oh, red dress coming to the conversation is
we're
really gonna
waiting.
help us out. I think.
We're waiting. We're
Why
gonna
are we waiting
BB
so
right at
long?
11 seconds to make it look like it's like a frame or like a timeout.
Banana
But we
bread.
need to hit the green, and we do. Do we die for this? There's no way. Red dress is getting thought about. And
Yeah,
all right, good timing on a shot. I mean, intuition speaking, great shot to just take a shot there, but unfortunately it was wrong. But I mean, if it would have been one pixel over to seek, that would have been such a crazy shot.
yeah, and really that's why red dress joining us right at the end there was super useful. That's why we waited, because it was just someone who also came in near the end of the game to this conversation. I think there is a world in which jScarny could find this win,
I agree.
by if the like I, I think it actually comes a little bit down. If AI had been different, if Red Dress hadn't joined us, or like there weren't enough suspects in with a double agent near the end of that game that would have potentially gotten shot, we might have been the next best thing, and Scarny might have been able to take that. It would have been difficult no matter what, but with that extra little bit of help from the AI, just like Scarny got last game, Nebula is able to find that spy win and keep the
Yes.
lead. Oh my goodness.
And we're talking about Scarny shooting at the end there. But I want to circle back. This spy game was absolutely
Banana
brilliant.
bread.
I want to say it right now. You could just see how high level and when people say Spy Party is a deep game, this is what they mean because this is probably one of the highest level spy games that you can even see in the game, in my opinion. It's also on a 5 of 8. But just look at how much stuff that Nebula had to execute in the game. He had to execute the Purloin. He saw a chance for the briefcase to execute that. And then even just decision making, deciding to give up his probably clean microfilm because he knows that it creates extra risk is just insanely high level decision making. And, even then, like, even just call it that, the reason he went for the microphone was to capitalize on all the chaos that was happening of the purloin, and he noticed that he didn't have any sus because he's reading the laser. And even
Yeah,
at the end of the game, he waited. This is yet again another high level play. He waits for the contact because if he is any at all any like suspicious to Scarny, then immediately contacting might give him a little bit more reason to like somehow find the shot. So he waits until 11 seconds to make it seem like it's a timeout, or it's somebody desperately trying to contact, but it isn't him because he's been in conversation for 20 seconds. So absolutely beautiful like spy game. And like, if you're newer to the game and you watch this for the first time, like let this be a example of how deep and like how just strong of a player Nebula is, and like how like high level the decision making can go, because this is it. I mean, this is the reason why like Spy Party is such an addicting game. It's games like this, like that's such a disgustingly good game. And even like keeping track of the fingerprint at the end after like the inspect to keep track of like finishing two missions at the end there. Absolutely beautiful game. Just beautiful.
yeah, yeah. Everything like just and it's so clear. I'm like I'm still stuck up on the microfilm decision because you brought up, not doing the book, and to me that was almost unthinkable in my brain. I
Yep.
was like, yeah, we're totally gonna dump this into yellow because we're so clean on this book. It feels like because like I was reading the same thing, that Nebula is reading, but I came to that different conclusion of like, oh, we're so good on this book,
Yeah.
but you were right. When you said, hey, because of all the other things we're clean on, we don't need that extra little bit of risk. And Nebula
Yes.
finds it in game. That's
Yeah.
just so
Crazy.
impressive.
Yeah, I 1,000% agree. To find that decision and like get there, yeah. I mean, Nebula is the best five for a reason. I mean, just super high, like just I cannot get enough of that. That was such a good game. Like that's crazy. And like if you're Scarny, you can't even be mad about losing to that. Like you're probably on cloud nine after like your own spy win, but to like lose to that, like I mean, head held straight up high, and you still have like the entire set still. Like it's only 4-6. Like you still have Redwoods Gallery, all these great spy chance venues to come
Yeah, for
back.
sure.
So
It's not
I would
over
not
yet.
get too like I wouldn't get too discouraged by that. I mean, it's an amazing, fantastic game, and maybe if you didn't watch it back, after it, like the set ended right now. I know Scarny's in the chat. Hopefully, you're watching this and you're saying, "Wow, just super strong spy game. I can't even be mad at it." And you have to just respect your opponent because that's just a crazy game to find.
Yeah,
If you're
no.
Nebula, I mean, insane, insane, insane,
Impeccable execution and decision making
crazy.
throughout the entire game. But now that does mean our hopes dwindle just very ever so slightly for jScarny after such a beautiful spy game from him as well. We've been watching such amazingly high level spy party, and that's always what I just
Thousand
enjoy
percent.
so much about casting finals in particular. I love that I get invited to do this with some regularity because oh man, it's so much fun, and I'm glad that you're here with me, Asatine, to put the cast on this. But
Yeah,
let's get it
I
going
agree.
into our next game, into Redwoods, which has a lot of interesting things that could be
Yeah,
happening
so
on it.
much.
jScarny on the spy side, trying to replicate the magic of some of that library game to get back into it again in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
All right. I'm so interested to see what we're gonna come up with now if we're Scarny, because you finally get a spy win past Nebula and you have to do it again. So now what do you do? Nice path. I like the path. Wheels might leave us here. And
Yeah,
like
probably.
yeah, yeah. So that's okay though. We could just take it slow. Ambassador's not by anybody, so not a good idea to do anything at the moment until Ambassador gets a little bit more, danger. But we could go for a crazy bug here. And I think we're thinking about it, but we're being watched, so
Yeah, I think we're gonna push the ambassador away as well, so he's not gonna stay here for very long. It's not like we're in that golden ratio zone where where we're close enough for a standing bug, but not close enough to push the ambassador away. That
yep,
those are very fun to sit on, but we
yep.
were a little bit too close for that. Instead, we just go in for
Yes.
the flirt with wheels, 51% now.
I love these quick leaves that Scarny keeps doing on these window pads. I never really noticed this, like a spy doing this a lot, but like it saves you a couple seconds at the very least. So it's and that couple seconds could always be like the make or break at the end of a game here. So a little bit of a long drink take, in my opinion. We waited a little bit long, but we should know by now that Nebula highlights for delegates. So if we are gonna send this, we probably want another mission and a BB or something, just so that we could just kind of coast out the rest of like the highlight, because we'll
We're
be down to
just
like four
barely
people.
out. No, wait. Are we in? I can't tell if we're in or out of bug range. I think we're just barely out of bug range
I think
here.
we're barely out of it. I agree, but we might be in range. But I don't think we could even take this. Like our arm is so visible from like every angle from the sniper side. So,
Yeah,
but Scarny
for
would take
sure.
this bug. If anybody would take this bug, it's Scarny. Now we can take it if we're in range, and
If
because
we're in
Kane's
range,
giving
but
us
I
a
don't
little bit
think
of
we
cover.
are.
Oh, but we delegate
We
to Kane.
delegate to
But he's gonna
Kane,
slam
who
the book though.
joined us. Yeah,
Oh,
it's gonna
okay,
be a
never
book
mind.
slam.
Yes. Does it take though? I don't think this is gonna take. And if it doesn't
Yeah,
take,
and
we might have to commit to a timeout or a
if it
timeout.
doesn't take, I think we're dead. Is the problem because when a spy goes next to someone who's been to bar and then goes ahead and does a book slam, there's no way they frame a delegate timeout, right? They're going to take that list. So if you see this as Nebula and you see the book slam, you can narrow it down to two, and then you can go ahead and just narrow it down to almost certainly just jScarny, because once the list doesn't go, well, what spy is going to actually go ahead and commit to something that does not give them a mission and narrows it down to two? Come on.
That's very true. I didn't even think about that angle from it, but and there are still a lot of highlights, so maybe we're just keeping the highlights up because we are going to credit like a delegate book slam. So maybe that's a reason why it wouldn't be good because then Nebula can just leave it to his highlights and then just watch whatever highlights he has.
Yeah.
Uh,
Banana bread.
fake BB, but there's two reels, so hopefully this
Oh
screams fake
no,
to
this
Nebula
is
because if
going
it
poorly.
doesn't, we're going to be very suspicious. And now I think we
We,
have to time out. You cannot finish missions here. You need to time out here.
but who's gonna
Unfortunately,
get
we need to
shot?
time out.
The SDA was in with us. I think we were really hoping the SDA was in the other conversation, but instead
Yes.
it's a disaster. We have no mission progress. We
Oh
get
my gosh, but
trigger.
bug fight's
We
gonna
get
be
neutral lit
seen.
right as we
Yeah,
die.
that's what I mean. You have to take like another contact there at like 11 seconds because you have no other play. I mean, like you have no mission progress. Bugging here does nothing for you. You're not gonna find some miraculous like combination to win you the game after a bug goes off successfully here. So I think you have to time out. But I mean, if you're Skarny, you probably just want to try something because you probably know that like Nebula's not just gonna shoot a sieve after like that BB. But that's just really unfortunate that the BB was like there's two reels and we did get brought down to a neutral light at the end of the game. So if we had another mission, like I said earlier, if we delegated and we had another mission, I think I like it a lot more. But unfortunately, just get shot for that bug.
Yeah, and it's really rough when you base a mission complete around having that purloin and your delegate wears off before it actually takes. And it's so hard to adapt on the fly, both in terms of what do you actually do and in the fact that you've spent so much time invested in that delegate purloin. That can just be a game breaker, especially against someone as good as Nebula. And that contact was kind of a last ditch effort to get someone else shot. There were a lot of highlights in the other conversation, a lot of people nearby the ambassador, but the SDA just wasn't there. And that means that Nebula is going in and is controlling this. We won't see it evening out here. And in fact, Nebula could very well take even more of a lead on
Yes.
such a venue like Redwoods, where spies can definitely get away with a lot.
Yeah. And we're next to Ambassador, so starting off the venue here. So we are Rocker on Redwoods in 3, 2, 1, playing it. And yeah, probably going to be an early microphone here, or we could even cheese it maybe, just throw spaghetti at the wall
We
and see
went
if it
for the
sticks.
immediate
But
grab. We did not stand there for a second. We went for the immediate grab, which tells me that I think Nebula was potentially looking for a very quick rip or one of like these in
perfect.
the early game, and we looks like we probably got away with this.
Yep, I think that should be pretty clean. This is a very common spy-like thing to do, like to go to the blue bookcase at the beginning of the game. I find myself watching this behaviorally because, it's like the least suspicious place to be on Redwoods ever in general. So
Yeah.
like, it's
Oh,
normally
look at
free
this aggression
progress, and
from
that's why
Nebula.
spies like it. Yeah, I love
Yeah,
yeah,
and,
the
and and that's
aggression's
the
great.
thing is Redwood is very interesting because it has a very packed mission density because of how the statues are integrated with the microphone like this. So you mentioned, it's basically pretty much the
White
least.
test though.
Oh, white test, but it's behind some trees because of where the ambassador is. And you have to wonder, has Nebula memorized like taking this angle to see where this spot of the ambassador? I know that green bookcase is almost going to be entirely behind trees. I think that might be something that Nebula knows and was just willing to take it, even though it was a white test, completely off screen. And now we have transfer done, we have 2 inspects done, we have 2 flirts done, and this is looking like an absolute just like a rush game from Nebula. This could be an inspect
Yeah,
swap into flirt, and we're done. I
I
would love to
agree.
see that.
Yeah, this game is just like another reason why I feel like Spy Party is so interesting because like it's the competitive mentality. I mean, after that last game that Nebula had, that's when you already have the sniper win in pocket, so you're already up no matter what after this venue, and you just say screw it and just do everything, and you
Yeah,
just do some aggressive plan. You haven't really unleashed your full aggression yet, and Nebula is now just letting things like fly free. He could just take the purloin here. Yeah, I was gonna say we take it. If we get shot for this, that'd be crazy, but I can't
that would be
imagine it.
crazy. And actually, I this is the kind of thing that I mean, we didn't get punished for this, but this is the kind of thing that I usually really love. But in this specific instance, it felt like we were just so clean that there's no way we ever get shot on contact, and there's like a 2%,
Yeah.
2 to 5% chance we get shot for the purloin, right?
Right.
Which is the same kind of conundrum on library, but except we didn't have anything invested in going to get this purloin. But instead, Nebula just flexes a little bit with the transfer purloin inspect game with the silent game. That is,
Yeah.
and silent games you do have to have in your repertoire.
Yeah, and I want to say I think a big reason we went for the purloin, and so you said 2 to 5% chance of getting shot for it. I'm gonna say that it was less than 1% because, and
Interesting.
here's like why I would say that. It's so early on in the game that like you're not shooting anybody, even if you're so sus of somebody for a delegate here, you're not shooting because you also don't even have contact.
Yeah.
And if Nebula's already fine living through like a white microfilm, he's probably knows that like Scardy does not have microfilm credit. And then you also have inspects, and there's no, and the force already done. You're done so quickly. There's not really much sus. There's not even a BB. Scarny has zero reason to shoot anything, even
Yeah.
if like he doesn't take it. So I love the play. I think like it's great to just get an initial count on there because there's no way Scarny is shooting that early. Just judging from all the circumstances, and Nebula is more than capable of judging those circumstances. So I love it. I'm a
Yeah, don't get
massive
me
fan of that.
wrong. It's the kind of play that I personally love to finish on, with that, really early hardtail that they're not going to shoot for quite yet. Like that direct take in particular is one that you can do really well because there's no difference in fade between white and green that they could potentially differentiate. Um, so I 100% agree with you that like it was very very low chance we would ever get shot for that just because of the
Right.
timing, what we were clean with. Um, and realistically, it's possible that either one basically has a 0% chance of getting shot.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, at that point, everything's so clean, it almost doesn't matter. I mean, it's like when you take the queen in chess. Like, it almost doesn't really matter what you do. You just can do anything and probably win. But yeah. Oh yeah, Hoffman pointed out in chat that yeah, it actually was a very similar finish that I had in our game, where I just straight up took the purloin. So
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, it's a very strong play. I mean, it
I like it
works.
too.
Like,
Yeah,
it definitely works. So
but unfortunately, that does mean that I believe we are now to 8-4
yep,
in
match
favor
point,
of Nebula, which,
and we're sniping.
man, match point with
So
Nebula sniping.
yeah.
And if this, there's a decent chance this ends up with a 9-4 final scoreline, right? And I think that would be so um like different from seeing the scoreline versus watching the match. The perception is so different, right? In how well jScarny is playing. But I say seeing the scoreline, we haven't even guaranteed that it's going to be a 9-4. But like, even in the case that it is that way, oh my goodness, Scarny's been playing so well. And
Oh
I
yeah.
really hope to see a spy win here to really cap off a wonderful tournament for Scarny and potentially even mount a comeback.
Yeah, I would love to see that too. I agree. The scoreline does not tell the whole story because, like, okay, Neb is up 4 points, but in reality, that's only like really two extra spy wins, I think, or like, oh, I guess two extra sweeps, I guess. But like,
Mhm.
I feel like Scarny probably could have found the shot on Ballroom, and so like maybe just misses it. But like,
Yeah.
a lot of these games have been so close, and Scarny even found like the correct shot timing on Library, but not the correct shot.
Yeah.
And I feel like those both those games I think were nebulous sweeps, and so like to me it feels really really close like in those games, and like I feel like 4 points difference doesn't really show that difference, but like every spy game from Scarny has been pretty good. Maybe like the Redwoods game maybe a little slow, but I mean just putting up some fantastic like testing games against Nebula, and Nebula playing like just out of his mind on the spy side.
Oh
It's
yeah,
been a
for
great
sure.
set. I mean, you can't be mad at either play from anybody. I mean, it's been a great finals.
Yeah, absolutely. And like we're talking like it's all over already.
Right,
And
yeah, it's
you
not.
know, it's not. It is, however, Nebula sniping gallery. Gallery famously one of Nebula's more comfortable venues. Nebula
Right.
famously a very strong sniper, and gallery being the most sniper sided 4 of 8 venue that we have. So a lot of things do kind of lean in favor of this likely being the last game. But I, in my heart of hearts, truly want Jace Carney to win this and truly want Jace Carney to try to mount this comeback because that would be so much fun. But
I
let's
agree.
see if it can happen in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
That narrative would be so insane. And if you're Scarny, how do you even play this like last game? Do you just play a slow game? Do you just throw everything at the wall and just do it and just play a crazy game and like try to get it by. I mean, like I just it's such a hard position to be in because it's a must-win spy game. So if
Yeah,
you have to play a must-win spy game against probably one of the best players in the game, what do you even do?
it's. I mean, my personal like the way I personally handled it was always to just throw things at the wall. Going back to uh, one of my favorite matches I played against Urand in the Winter Cup
Durand,
Finals.
yes,
Uh,
classic.
that massive comeback way back in the day. I started it by just going absolutely ham in ways that very much could have gotten caught but didn't, and was able to generate a comeback out of that. And so that's what I would love to see from Skarny. We do have the flirt completely done with 1 minute in this game, which is really nice
Yes.
on gallery in particular because that can be a struggle with pacing on gallery.
Yeah, I agree. And now this is like the precursor for a rush. I mean, Nebula was in the same spot last game where he kind of got like, some nice missions out of the way early on and just said, screw it, and rushed. I think we should do the same thing. I think if you want to beat Nebula, now would be the time to just throw stuff at the wall because you have to do something and you have flirt done and you have the advantage of it not being like that late in the game. In my opinion, I'd purloin here and maybe go do a mission, but that's me. We'll see what Scoring decides to do. Yeah, we don't decide to do it. So probably going to play a more
What
slower,
I would
steady
have been
game.
extremely interested in, um, just looking at the game state right now, green purloin, walk to the very front statue which has a fingerprint on it. Try to green swap, get the fingerprint, go to green books, get that fingerprint, finish silent in about the next 30 seconds. That would have
Yeah,
been my instinctive. This is what I want to do. But we do
yeah,
get one fingerprint.
right. We get the one fingerprint. Okay, we need to put this book back because Ambassador just took a print, so we need to hurry up and go back in the convo and request. And
There is
maybe
still
Nebula sees that.
a clean print on front statue though.
Okay,
Is
go
the
go go.
thing.
Request 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 request. No,
I think
you can
Jarascon's
request
going for
there.
a different print.
Oh, okay. Is he okay? That's fair. Yeah,
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah. Here it is. He's
yeah.
going for this
Is
front
Nebula
statue print.
on this though? Because if Nebula's on this, we're gonna get highlight. Our laser is like dead still.
And look how the laser's moving over to the left to make sure that Nebula can see our statue. We don't go for the swap, but we also don't pick up a highlight.
We are 1,000%
Not
sus. If
not
we go
yet
to another
anyway.
statue here,
There it
yeah,
is.
uh, we're dead. We're dead. Nebula's gonna shoot this contact. I think I'm predicting it's over. That
Yeah,
highlight for yeah, Nebula's laser tells it all. We are 1,000% his top suspicion right now, and we just
there
take
it
the
is.
shot, and it's just over.
Man, Nebula's so good.
Nice shot though. I mean, way to be on Prince like that. That's just, I mean, great sniper play. I like the idea. I like that we just go and do stuff just to test him one last time.
Mhm.
We're probably gonna die even if we don't die at that statue. We're gonna die at the contact, but great play
Yeah,
from Nebula to snipe there. Nebula just completely ran away with the end of the set there, and just
yeah.
showcasing why he is the best spy, one of the best snipers. I mean, huge GGs to both players. I mean, great games.
Yeah, and this last game actually is something that I noticed about jScarny Spy is like you mentioned that Scarny does a lot of things that what spy would ever do that kind of thing. And in our set, I actually got burned by this a couple times because I would see something that looked so incredibly spy-like in terms of how the completion was happening to the point that I was like, "There's no way a spy would actually do this," and I would end up losing that game before I kind of adjusted and be like, "No, Scarny is sometimes just going to do the really spy-like thing," and like I'm not saying this as a slight against Scarny Spy because having that in the repertoire is good, very clearly because it won games against me as well, right? Like this can work. Is just being so obvious that the sniper goes surely not, right? So I do kind of like that attempt at the end, but it was not enough against Nebula's just lights out play in the back half of that set.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, just I mean, I want to like I can't even understand it enough. The library game, absolutely beautiful. And the Redwoods game, yet again, I think it's just more like high level decision making, and it really showcases what a high level spy looks like. Just wonderful play. I mean, I have nothing to really add. Maybe Nebula had a shaky first half of the set, but really found his stride. And
I don't
just
even know if Nebula had a shaky first half. Nebula had a
I guess
shaky
shaky for his
first
standards, I
game.
guess. Shaky for
Nebula had a
Nebula
shaky
standards, I guess.
first game. Then Jay
Yeah.
Scarney played out of his mind, and then Nebula said, "All right, it's time to lock in," and just absolutely crushed the rest of the set. Said, "Okay, you've been playing really well, but now it's time to show why I'm the best."
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of got yeah, you get that kind of feeling too. Yeah, I guess I guess I want to amend my statement. Yeah, I guess for Nebula standards, I guess he played shaky because I know how strong he is, but um, because I'm still shocked by that early shot because like even though like you could argue that like oh it's a really like it makes sense as a pathing shot, but yeah, just great set, and I'm glad I was here to cast it. Uh, super excited to see what happens in the next competitive event because this was Scarny's first tournament finals, and he beat Opie. I mean, he beat Argoria in a really crazy OT. He went 3-0 in Swiss,
Yeah,
and just I'm excited to see what he can do from now on. And yeah, just I'm super happy that I was able to cast this today and see this great gameplay.
yeah. Thank you
Thanks
for
for having
being
me,
here,
gents, and
and
thanks for
thanks
casting OP.
and thank you for Gent for number one, you know, running the cast this cast itself, this finals cast, and as well as organizing this entire tournament. We cannot thank you enough because these tournaments really are so exciting. The lifeblood of the competitive scene, and without someone to run it, we would just be so much worse off. And so thank you, Gent, for all of the work you put in throughout this entire tournament, organizing casts, organizing matches, making sure that this all happened nice and smoothly. So really big round of applause for gentlemen for all of that. And thank you everyone so much for participating, for watching. It's been lovely.
Yeah, thank you very much. I have to say some thanks, thank yous as well. Thank you to you
Yeah.
too. Thank you to you, OP, to give me the chance to run SC25, even though with those changes with Swiss and stuff like that. I think the only normal Summer Cup group stage or format is the show match we just saw like 2 hours ago. But yeah, I hope everybody had fun out there. Thanks for participating. Thanks for all that help with, like Yeti, with the images, like Roth with drawing and stuff like that. Yeah, it was really fun, even though I'm glad that we are finished now. But I have a small announcement, or maybe a big announcement, because yeah, SC is over. But it's not a huge time till the next competitive event because I got told that SCL number 8, so SpyParty Competitive League number 8, will return and will be announced, I think, tomorrow to
It's
sign up.
back.
Wahoo!
Yes. So it's not SML but SCL, and yeah, make sure to sign up as soon as the sign up format will be out in the Discord. Yeah.
Oh, but gentlemen, SCL is so annoying because I like when I sign up for that kind of thing, I only get to play against really strong players,
Oh yeah.
and it's always so scary.
God bless that I'm not as good, so I have to play just Scarny. Oh way.
Oh, just Scarny, is
At least
it?
in the last SML, I have to play him. So yeah, it's terrifying as well. So yeah, but as much or it's cooler with more participants. So yeah, just go and sign up. It's totally free for everybody. So just do it and yeah, make some cool competitive memories. So yeah, I'm done. If you want to say something else after we or before we end, then feel free after or just end it.
Yeah, I'll just go ahead and give my boilerplate. If you are new, this is your first ever time seeing this, and you are interested in the competitive league that is being announced tomorrow, or interested in competing at all, learning more about the game, this game, of course, is Spy Party. You can get it on Steam or at www.spyparty.com. Buying it straight from the developer always helps. And if you are interested in joining this community, joining more competitions in the future, you can go ahead and find the Discord at discord.gg/spyparty. Very easy to remember that one. So thank you all for watching. And if you're new here, I hope you join. It's a lovely, lovely game, super deep, as we've been talking about. And thank you, everybody, so much.
Yep, and I also want to add that if you are a newer player, don't be afraid to ask for help. I know I myself, Assassine Effect, am always around to help in the Discord. I also have a YouTube channel that has a lot of good info. If you're just starting out the game, it's just Assassine Effect in YouTube. So You know, don't be afraid to get in the game. It's a lot of fun. Everybody's super friendly, super willing to help. Super deep game. It's fun. There's just a million things you could do. So don't be afraid to join if it fancies you. But thanks everybody for watching, and it was super fun, and had a good time with you guys.